Hello and welcome to the fourth episode of Throwlicious Live from the Spin Central studios here in Düsseldorf, Germany. My name is Andreas Nie, and for this show I have quite a few things prepared. Again, I'll be looking at the efreet fire yo-yo as promised last episode. I will look at another online store, and I have something new. Something that I haven't done in this season yet, so it's quite an exciting thing. You can really look forward to that. But before I get to that, of course, I will start off with the news. Let's see what I have for today. In episode 1 I already mentioned the Light It Up Blue campaign that yoyocommunity.com was going. They were raising money for autism, and in this year they wanted to raise money for Dominic Cleffian, I hope I pronounced that correctly, a little boy or young boy that has autism, and they want to raise money to buy him a dog, a service dog as a guardian. And yeah, he is getting $250 from yoyocommunity.com to buy this service dog. And thanks everybody who participated in the Light It Up Blue campaign of yoyocommunity.com. Last episode I already mentioned that there are some changes going on at the Duncan Crew, and a little while ago yoyonews.com exclusively had the list of the latest crew, the latest Duncan crew, and you can read the complete list of people there on the website. So go to yoyonews.com to find out who is still at Duncan crew. On Yoyo News you find the names for the North and South America, for Europe and Asia. Quite a few people there, like Sebastian Brock, Augie Fash, Hank Freeman, for example. Europe, Janos Karans is still there. So go to yoyonews.com for a complete list if you want to find out who the Duncan Crew 2.0 is, basically. Now, on to another big name in yo-yoing, namely Yo-Yo Factory. And if you've watched this show, you know that they're gonna make a dream come true for them. They're making a new titanium yo-yo, a full-size competition-ready titanium yo-yo, and they call it the Dream. Latest news on the project: it got funded on Indiegogo.com. Raised over $55,000. Well, way over $50,000, more than double its original goal. The schedule is right on track. That's what Ben has to report on that. That means that the first yo-yos are gonna actually ship by the end of June. So the first people from the first 100 backers will get their yo-yos soon. There was a little bit of doubt if the pouch that is promised, or that was promised as a perk, will actually make it on time. So that was the one that kind of caused a little bit of delay, but that is on tour now as well. So the first 100 backers will get the titanium yo-yo, the aluminum version, and also the plastic version. That one was not clear at the beginning if it will make it on time at all, because it's a whole different way of producing the yo-yo, but it looks like as if all three yo-yos will make it in time or are on time, and the pouch as well. You can see here this green thing, that is going to be the color of the plastic yo-yo. Instead of asking the community or giving backers a choice, Yo-Yo Factory decided to just go with one yo-yo and kind of, I guess, reducing the hassle of sorting out colors, and also it probably also speeds up production and the whole process so that no delays get introduced to that. So the first 100 backers will get theirs soon. After that, a batch of another 50 packages will ship, and then after that another 50 will ship. And after that, the TI version, the titanium version, and the aluminum version as well will go on regular sale. And Ben said already that the first batch will probably go mostly to China, because China was kind of left out the Indiegogo campaign, because for Chinese players it was hard to participate in that. So they made sure that the regular priced titanium yo-yo will go to China first. And after that, it's the US and Europe and the rest of the world. So, all right, another Indiegogo project that is currently ongoing. There are still roughly 14 days on the clock on that one. Is of course the We Are Throwers documentary Indiegogo project. Good news first, it got funded, or it is being funded. The 10,000 US dollars, not euros, the $1,000 really did get raised. So the project will happen, will take place. So that's really cool. As said, 2 more weeks left. If you haven't really joined, do it now, or do it later. You have again 14 days left. Still some pretty cool perks left to get, not only the DVDs or the movie itself, but you can grab some cool yo-yos as well, or Yo-Yo Expert featuring Yo-Yo Factory coupons. So go there. Also, again, go to yoyonews.com, because if you've got an Instagram account, you can share a picture that is posted there, and you can, what else do you need to do? I think that's it. Oh yeah, well, of course you have to make a contribution. That's what I was looking for. A contribution to the We Are Throwers campaign. And even if it's the smallest of amounts, if you do that and if you share the image on yoyonews.com, you are eligible for a draw to get a full set of the latest Yo-Yo Recreation sub-brand Rebellion. All their yo-yos, the Akron, the Butcher, the Akron, the Butcher, and the Goliath. Yeah, for free, for yourself, for just, I guess, $1. If you contribute $1 and share this image on Instagram, you are eligible. Should be. But of course, it's advised to support this with a little higher amount, because it's a really cool project. Speaking of cool project, of course, Tokyo 2015 is approaching. Until June the 30th, the amount for registering for the event is still at $85 US. After that, on starting 1st of July, it will raise to $110 US. You may know that for each and every month, I think, that passes by, the amount required to register gets higher and higher. So make sure to register for Tokyo as soon as possible to save some money. And yeah. Last but certainly not least, tomorrow, actually on June 11th, the launch of the Marvel from G Squared will take place. Jake from G Squared has already posted lots of images of the soon available colors. As you can see here, there is the prototype up here, and then 4 different colors already, which look pretty spectacular. Prices will range from 115 to 120 US dollars. There's a special Yo-Yo Expert version that's supposed to cost $120, and the rest will cost $115. So make sure to check out your favorite online store or gsquaredyoyos.com for the release starting tomorrow. And that wraps up the news. Now, G squared, the Marvel, pretty excited about that. And since G squared actually had an anniversary the other day or the other week, they turned 3. I decided to sit down with its co-founder and current headmaster, Jacob Gross. I did that like last week, I think, and I will post the full interview soon as a Yo-Yo Talk segment on the Spin Central channel. So as always, make sure to subscribe and stop by often to see the latest videos on everything. But in order for you to get a glimpse of what is in store for you, I think if technology is on my side, I will be able to show you a small segment of this interview. And that is actually the first time I'm doing this. So it's not a live interview as I had in season 2, but instead a recorded version, but on the other hand, a more compact and dense version. I hope this works and I hope you will enjoy it. So I have to see if I can start this. How did G squared get started?
What was it? Back in 2011, 2012, might have been the end of the year in 2011, I think. Most people know, if you've been around that long, that myself and Brett created the company. And when we started it out, we just, it's everybody's quest as a collector to find that perfect yo-yo, and it's something that you never can achieve. And so we wanted to just make our own yo-yos that we were looking for. And every time you pick something up, you're thinking, well, maybe if they would have just tweaked this a little bit, I would like it a little more. And so we decided we wanted to make our own yo-yos. And hey, even after we made our own yo-yos, we would still think, hey, maybe if I would have just tweaked this a little bit. So even when you're making them, it's still hard to create that perfect yo-yo.
By the end of 2012, you picked up manufacturers or newcomer manufacturer award of the year 2012 from yoyoskills.com. How did that make you feel?
That I think it made me feel better than it probably should have. It was we put so much work into the company, and it was neither of our jobs. It was a hobby for both of us. So you're putting hours and hours into something, and you're not really getting a return that you would say that you would get from a job. But then just all the support we got, all the fans, all the friends that we gained, it was really pleasing for them to come through like that for us, and show that support and show that they really did appreciate and like what we were doing.
The name G squared was coming, of course, from Gross and Grimes.
Mm-hmm.
Now with one G dropping, you came up with a clever, really good replacement, so to speak, namely your wife, right?
Yes. So she's the second G right now, and well, she doesn't yo-yo or anything. She does a lot of help. The standard stuff. She'll help. All those decals on those packages. Somebody's got to help me stick those on, or else it'd take me forever. And she does a lot of help with that and shipping, and she comes up with a lot of cool contests that we do, and she works on the colorways with me. So even though she doesn't yo-yo, she's still pretty good help for the company.
Awesome. I got out a bunch of other yo-yos here, all the same size. No, not all the same. We've seen the model itself already, but this time they're all AL7 versions of it. So explain what AL7 series is.
AL7 is just, all it is switching the aluminum type from 6061 to 7075. And that is just a harder aluminum. So the anodizing will come out slightly a different color. It has a different shine to it than 6061. The blasting won't be as aggressive. But the biggest deal with the 7075 is kind of getting a yo-yo that, you like the way it plays, which you want to see how it is with a couple grams difference. So everything stays the same as far as weight distribution, and it's just a lot of fun to be able to pick up the original and then grab the 7075. Um, I know a lot of people actually prefer the 7075 just for performance reasons. They like the harder metal, and if they're using a glove, the grindability doesn't matter that as much to them.
So that already brings us to 2015, and you're gonna marvel us this year with a new release called the Marvel. What is that all about?
Um, the Marvel is something that we've been working on for almost a year. I've never worked this long on a specific yo-yo. It's just we were at the point where you can keep rolling out yo-yos that are slightly different, but we have a good lineup right now that kind of covered the ranges. You know, the Trident, it's organic, feels nice, and the Aftershock is just a great competition throw, and a lot of people like that yo-yo. I didn't want to put something out just to put something out. That's why there's been such a long delay. I wanted to create something that it fits the name. Like, I didn't have it named, but it kind of expresses the idea that I wanted. Um, I wanted it to capture that feeling for everybody when they first started yo-yoing, and you saw that first unresponsive freestyle, and it just kind of surprises you, and you're just kind of in awe, and you just sit there and marvel at it.
Yeah.
And that's the feeling that I wanted to express through this yo-yo.
I saw some reviews and stuff on highspeedyoyo.com, and Chris mentioned an undercut design, which I didn't quite understand, and of course there weren't clear pictures of that. Can you explain a little bit what that particular part of the yo-yo is really all about?
When we were designing it, one of the things currently that I guess not currently, it's kind of been a year or two now that people have been doing it, and it just was something that had just made me, wow, like that's something awesome. Was the finger spins. So we had the yo-yo mostly designed, and then we decided we wanted to incorporate finger spins a little bit better. And one of the issues with yo-yos that incorporate finger spins is they have too much center weight, because when you get that flat hub, instead of having the axle nub, you bring out the rest of the yo-yo and it's flat, so that, or flat or concave or alike, to allow for finger spins more easily. But then you get all that center weight that's built up, and it really hinders the overall playability of the yo-yo. So what we did was took a little bit of that undercut right outside of the response grooves to get some of that weight back out towards the rim to increase the overall playability.
I see a pattern here that for each and every year you came up with 2 yo-yos. Is there going to be another one in 2015?
There's definitely going to be another one in 2015. I've got protos of it. I haven't done much with it yet, just because I've been doing so much with the Marvel, and I'm just enjoying the Marvel right now. But we will have another model in 2015, maybe later in the fall. It's really hard to tell. But yeah, we're definitely gonna have something else. It's a lot different than anything we've put out before. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Looking forward to that, and looking forward, of course, to the Marvel. Hey, and I'm back for real, now with sound. How about that? So, as I was saying, sorry about that. That was the short version of the interview. I will shortly release the full version of it, and in that version, I will talk with Jake through each and every, or about each and every yo-yo released by G Squared, and get his thoughts on lots of different topics. Quite an interesting interview, I think. Thanks again to Jake for taking the time and actually answering all my questions. It was really awesome of you to do that. And I hope you enjoyed this little version as well already. As said, check out your favorite online store because I'm sure they will carry the Marvel soon to be released. Now, I have already the close-up cam set up here because it is time to look at the efreet fire yo-yo as promised in the last episode of Throwlicious Live. Maybe I can switch already here over. Okay, as you can see, here's the yo-yo. It's quite big. Wow, close-up cam. And it comes with a bunch of accessories and stuff. It has, first of all, this awesome box, the wooden box with this engraving here. So that's really cool. That's already a good reason to buy this yo-yo. But of course, the big feature of it is the fire-breathing dragon style, whatever. Yeah, there are two different ways to light this thing up, and one of them is by using this disc, and it's actually the recommended version for if you not want to use a glove. You can see it here. I used it already, so that's what it looks like right after, well, not right after, but after it burned down. Okay. And the way this yo-yo is constructed and the way this whole thing works is actually pretty neat. There's you can screw these segments onto the yo-yo center. All right, so what we do is put this in here and then you screw the disc in, and that secures it to the yo-yo. Of course, if you put something in here on this side, it creates some unbalance. So you also want to make sure that you put one of those things, one of the smaller caps on the other side. It's actually recommended to even it out a little bit. Okay. Now, what do these two different things do? So that, what do you get? You get one disc, you get two of these candle things, call them. And of course the yo-yo itself. It is, by the way, before I go any further, the coating is weird. Let's put it that way. It's, oh, hang on. Logo. Yeah, so the coating is different from what I've touched on other yo-yos. It's not your normal anodizing blasting. It's some special coating which probably helps the yo-yo stay intact with the heat that this thing generates. So it's quite a different coating. It's not your normal coat. And then you get these two different ways of lighting the yo-yo. One is the disc, and I will start with that. The way you want to prepare it is you take a paper clip and then you kind of bend it into shape, and then, okay, you can see it here, it's stuck in there. I secured it there, and now it's time to get it out again with pliers. And not really good at this, but it's working. Okay, there it comes out, hopefully. Yeah, making a mess. Okay, there we have it. It is recommended to use jeans cloth or Kevlar if you have it. Oh man. Okay, but what I did for this one is I used broad candle wick. Broad candle wick. It looks like this. Got it from a convenience store. And that I'm just... I cut it up a little bit with my trusty scissors. And then I just kind of wrapped it around somewhat. Oh, well, maybe fold it up. Put it in here. Okay. Well, something like this. Right, so you see these things are still sticking out. And now I can, there's a hole in the middle. I can try to squeeze that in. Okay, so now it needs to push, there it comes out. See, and then take the pliers, pull a little bit, and secure it again. It takes a little time, it takes practice and everything, so I'm not gonna fully complete it because yeah, it still looks a little bit messy, so you want to make sure that you really take care of that so that it looks nice and cool and is also secure. Maybe that's really around. All right, and after that you can actually take the yo-yo and then screw this thing back and you're ready to go. Right. Now the other way you can do it, so with this version you would only light this one, and I will come to the oil in a little bit that is needed, but first let me show you how to do it with this candle blah, whatever it's called. Oh, man, hang on. Unscrew. All right. And that is this one. This thing, there's still some... It didn't really fully burn last time I used it. So you take this. And it's much harder to get anything through this tiny little hole. What I did is I took some cloth here, right? It's actually a cloth diaper that I used, made of linen. Found it in a baby store because I was looking for jeans, and I didn't want to cut up one of my jeans pants, of course. And I thought, well, I just want a tiny piece of jeans. So I went to a baby store and looked for very cheap baby jeans pants and couldn't really buy it because my girlfriend said the first baby clothing I'm buying is actually one that I'm cutting up for yo-yo to set it on fire. She wasn't really happy about that, so instead I went with these diapers. Cut them up. It's a really big piece of cloth. Anyway, it's linen, so hopefully it burns nicely. And then I make this really fine tip. And it needs to be really fine to pull it through the hole, but at the same time it still needs to be attached so to the rest of it so that it doesn't rip off when pulled through. And here, wow, first try, it works. Okay, and now I can pull it. And the idea is, that I make a knot on the lower end, and this piece of cloth is a little bit too short for that actually. So what you want to do is make a knot here so that it doesn't pull any further. And then on this, okay, on this side you also make a knot so that it is secured. And again, this piece of cloth is a little bit too short for that. But the end result will look something like this, except it will be a little bit longer. So you basically make your own wick, candle wick, wickety wick. Yeah, and then again you screw this on. This time you use both sides. Again, this needs to be wrapped around and tight so that it is secure. And regardless of what version you used, you want to go and put some oil on it, lamp oil. Lampenöl. And I'm not going to do it now, but there's it's not really, here you can see the opening of it. Oh, don't want to spill it on, but you can see the opening of that. You want to be very careful, very gentle with that, because if you spill it all over the yo-yo and you set it up, you basically drench it in oil, and you put fire to it, a flame to it, the whole thing will just blast into flame. So you want to be very gentle, very gently put oil on this piece of cloth. Basically let it soak in more than that you put oil on it. Takes a little bit of practice. The first time I did it, I just got oil on my hands as well. And you don't want to do that. Okay, and after that, you're all ready and set to set the yo-yo on fire and have some fun with it. Brief fun, but fun. Before I show you, I made a video of that, and here's the thing. You probably expect some fantastic footage of it, but there's some problems I learned the hard way on this whole thing. First of all, if you're not a good yo-yo player, darkness doesn't help. So, if you're like me and you can throw some basic tricks, but you're not really awesome and cannot play without really looking at the yo-yo, if it's dark around, it gets even harder. Now, then you have this thing that burns, and it really does burn, and I've got pretty good footage of that, how it burns. It gets hot quickly, especially when I used the disc. It was pretty hot pretty quickly, and it takes some time to get used to. You need courage. You need courage to grab the yo-yo again, to grab it when it binds. You have to make the bind and everything. So yeah. And last but not least, filming in the dark is probably just as hard as yo-yoing in the dark, because the camera, and I use a consumer grade camera, it tries, of course, to focus on something, and if it's dark, it cannot focus on anything. So we had a really hard time getting some good footage of me playing this yo-yo. I do have some of it. It's not really good. I will show you because yeah, it's still showable, but don't expect too much from it. I need to set up the shot. No, that's not it. This one should be it. And let's see if you can see it. All right. Here comes. Oh, that's wrong camera. How cool is that? So I try it again with this one. Let's see. Boom. Okay. first try a single flame, that is with the disc, and there you see it lit up nicely. And as soon as I was throwing, the camera, couldn't really follow. We had a really hard time there. You see it a little bit, and then my difficulties of actually playing that thing started. I caught it again, and it's burning up nicely, but the camera went out of focus. And after a little while, after I played it a little longer, it kind of started spinning, and it was really hot at that time, so I didn't really want to touch it again. I mean, it wasn't really that hot that I would have gotten burns from it, but I respected that thing, and that is the yo-yo, and this piece of cloth that is glowing afterwards, and as I was holding it. Now with 2 flames and pretty spectacular shot there. Oh, by the way, I wasn't using the glove. It is recommended to use the glove when you light it on 2 sides. But as soon as I threw it, one of the flames went out, and it was unfortunately the one that was facing the camera. So I was stuck with a flaming yo-yo facing me, and the camera didn't catch anything, and it went out quickly right after that. So that is the rather disappointing footage of me trying to throw the efreet fire yo-yo. Would I recommend this? I think I would. The mechanic of and how it is done, it's pretty clever. I like the idea of these screw-on parts. It needs some time to set up though, and it also needs lots of practice and courage and everything to actually make this look good. So everybody who tries that and is able to grab some good footage of that, good for you and well done. I respect that a lot. I wasn't able to manage to do that yet, but it is really fascinating, and playing with fire becomes a whole new, gets a whole new meaning with that. Of course, and this is a really big disclaimer I have to give at this point. If you get this yo-yo, if you try something like that, make sure to play it safe. This is fire. It's a burning object that you're throwing around. Make sure that you are safe, in a safe place. Make sure that, for example, fire extinguishers are around, or some water or whatever. Best of all, make sure that you're not alone. Don't try this in closed rooms or anything, so that's why I'm not lighting it up here in the studio, because I want to entertain you with yet another episode of Throwlicious Live, and that cannot happen if I burn it to the ground. Alright, so make sure to play it safe. But if you're interested in that, if you want to play with fire in a whole new way, I can definitely recommend the efreet fire yo-yo, even if it has its learning curve. As a final thing, I can show you the Kevlar glove. As mentioned, if you use the 2-sided fire, it is recommended to actually use it with a glove, as I did. I didn't use the glove when I was burning with when I was burning the disc only. You can do that. The yo-yo gets hot, but everything is still fine, I suppose. Okay. Yeah. Making a mess here. Great, now I need to clean up. Alright, then I will have another segment in the show, which is namely the look of yet another online store. And for that I will need to switch the camera. And it's hola, it's La Tienda Del Yoyo. How do you pronounce yo-yo in Spanish? I don't know. La Tienda Del Yoyo, it's the Spanish store. And it does look a bit crowded at times, maybe a little bit outdated. Oh, look at that. Benchmark 2014. I will get back to that in a minute. But nevertheless, it's a cool store and it's a great source for European yo-yo players especially, but also other parts of the world will enjoy their products and their range of products. As you can see here, first of all, it's available in like lots of different languages. As you can see up here, German is appreciated, of course. For me, Spanish is there and English as well. Now, the navigation is nice as well. You have your brands there, and that's probably where most of us will go first if you're looking for specific yo-yo. And there are two things. Where is it? Yeah. Then here on the right side we have new releases. All new releases will get you to a page that lists, what a surprise, all new releases. Of course, if you're looking for the latest stuff, that is the first place to go. And you have your regular list. And then you have another cool thing though that La Tienda Del Yoyo has is the special price sections. And here you get discounted yo-yos. Also very cool, here on sale. And or price lowered, special prices, combos, etc. Always a good source for lower priced, special priced yo-yos. But also, if you notice on this page already, you see that La Tienda del Yoyo has some older models still available, so like the I Love Yo-Yos. For example, the Weird Tray, I see here, I Love Yo-Yo Phase, a Mary, General Yo, Entheos, stuff like that. And if I go, let's see, for example, Spy. Do they have still something from Spy? In stock, yeah. So some yo-yos that aren't available anywhere else might still be available brand new at La Tienda del Yoyo. If you are really looking for a special yo-yo, one that is out of stock in other places, make sure to go to La Tienda del Yoyo. Shipping costs are moderate, as generally is with yo-yo stores. Service is great. If you have a question, you can ask them. They will come back to you right away. And check out the new releases and special price sections. Switch to your respective language, so everything is there for you. So I go there regularly. Check out the news section because it's a great source, especially for Europeans to get hold of. For example, Caribou Lodge or One Drop Yo-Yos or General Yos, what have you. All right. That wraps up my look at La Tienda del Yoyo. And we come to one of this season's favorite segment of mine, namely the giveaway section, sponsored by or made possible by One Drop Yo-Yo again. Thanks very much to One Drop for making this happen and letting me have these yo-yos and be able to give them to you. We are in episode 4. That means 2 yo-yos have already left the Spin Central studio and 2 more yo-yos are still available, the O version and the W version. And as I get out the list, how many do we have? We have 26 people this time that participated in the drawing. Let's go to the web page random.org for true random numbers. And I want to have, what do I want to have? 26, right? Yes. Okay, exciting. And I want to show you the page. Okay, here we go. And drum roll for who gets the next yo-yo. Number 15. Number 15. Who is number 15? Number 15 is, oh great, it's somebody I cannot pronounce because it's, oh, well, maybe it's J Drift J. Well, J Drift J, you might want to talk to your parents about that name. And right after that, or before that, make sure to get in contact with me because you are the lucky winner of one of two One Drop Benchmark 2014. The O version and the W version are still available. Get in contact with me and let me know which version you want and also your address. That might help. Okay, let's assume one of those versions gets away, so that leaves us with whichever version is left for episode 5, right? Because that one is coming up in a couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks maybe, and you will get another chance to win one of those fantastic Benchmark 2014 yo-yos. How do you do it? How do you enter? It's as simple as this. Just subscribe to the Spin Central channel and make sure to comment pretty much anything on this episode and you are already entering this wonderful contest made possible by One Drop Yo-Yos. That wraps up show number 4 of Throwlicious Live here from the Spin Central studio in Germany, in Düsseldorf. And I thank you for watching. My name is Andreas Nie and I will see you next episode. Boom.